Would you rather have $1 million today or 1 penny that doubles every day for 30 days? Hello, wealthy people, and welcome to Wealth Hub Podcast, your podcast for financial literacy. Today, we will look at 8 key things that the 1% wealthy people do in order to keep growing their wealth steadily and organically. Before we get into the 8 points, I would like us to look at just how much is 1 penny doubled every day for 30 days. I don't know what was your choice, but I would like to let you know that the 1 penny that you probably didn't take will be 10.737418.24 in 30 days. So I'm going to ask that question once again. Would you rather have $1 million today or 1 penny that doubles every day for 30 days? And our topic today is very simple. I would like us to just look at just how powerful is the power of multiplication, or rather compounding. A review was done and it showed a couple of years ago that 82% of global wealth is owned by 1% of the population. Now, that in simple terms is to say that only 42 people own 82% of global wealth, and the rest, 3.7 billion, are among the 18% of global wealth. So we're looking at 8 things that these people do that make them, first of all, get out of poverty and create wealth. Number 2, stay wealthy. And number 3, create generational wealth. Remember, we are all about creating wealth, not just for you, but also for the generations to come. And I'll jump right into it. So the number 1 thing that these people do, the key thing, the top thing, allow me to just look at my screen from time to time. Number 1 thing they do, they live on less than they make. I've come to realize that it's really not about the money you make. It's about how you use the money that you're making. And in this case, I'm not talking about business or employed. It's everybody put together. Whatever money comes to your bank or whatever medium you use to hold your money, how does that money change? Or how do you deal with that money? So those people, the 1%, they live on less than they make. And what that does, it makes them have room for investment. When opportunities rise, if you have money available, that's the only way you're able to take advantage of them. But if you spend everything you're earning, it means you're remaining on the same level for, many years. And additionally, if you lose your source of income, you are now lower than what you were before, and you can find yourself in a precarious situation. And the number 2 thing they do, they take that balance from their investment. Actually, they take that portion first, and then they invest it and ensure that it works harder than them. So it's one thing to have a daily job where you're working very hard, but when your money is working harder than you, it means you're actually on your road to success. So that's point number 2. They make their money work harder than them. And number 3, these wealthy people, they've mastered the time effect of money. What that means, in other words, is when you start saving when you're younger or early, you don't get to invest as much. You don't need to invest a larger portion. I'll give an example. A 26-year-old saving 10% per annum towards their retirement is not like a 50-year-old saving 10% towards their retirement. Simple reason, one of them is closer to retirement than the other one. One has more time than the other one. Same market, different times. Number 4, they partner with compounding interest. Let me explain what is compounding interest. Compounding interest is interest on interest. So let's say, for example, you invested 1 million Kenya shillings at a rate of return of 10%. That gives you 100,000, or let's say even 10,000 a month. Now that 10,000 is added onto your principal such that the following month you not only have the 1 million, but you have 1 million and an extra 10,000 shillings. So you have compounded your principal. So the interest now will be charged on a higher principal. That's what we call compounding interest. So these wealthy people, they've mastered and they have partnered with compounding interest. And let me mention at this point that there are two sides of the coin when it comes to compounding interest. You can make compounding interest work for you or against you. When it's working for you is when you're investing your money in assets that don't require you to be there, so they're growing organically. When it's working against you is when you take a high interest debt. So whether you overspend or you don't overspend, your money is getting lost through high interest debt. And in the future, we shall look at how to make debt work for you, because not all kind of debt is bad. There's good debt and there's also bad debt. So these people have mastered that even if they get into debt, they don't get into high interest debt and fail to invest that money such that they are losing value instead of increasing value. Every time you take a debt, ensure that what you're investing in has a higher return than the interest that you've been charged on that debt. That way, you're performing higher than the interest on the debt. But if you take debt and then you're investing in something probably for 10% and you paid 16%, you're already on your way to poverty. So partner with compounding interest. That's number 4. And number 5, they don't compare themselves with others. You are your own competition. In our previous episodes, we've talked about creating a spending plan that is geared towards spending in your values. So once you get your values, that's where now your money goes. You're not trying to be like anybody else. You're not buying a vehicle because somebody bought. You're not building a house because another person bought. You're doing it because it's valuable to you. You've reached that point where you're by now, I need a home. Why? Because of my family. Why? Because when I retire, I have somewhere to go. But you're not doing it because you had someone else is doing it. So they don't compete with others. And remember, someone is always going to be ahead of you. So there's no point being a competitor with anyone because one person will always be ahead of you. And number 6, they have learned how to be content. Now, at this point, I would like to talk about something that I've been studying for a very long time. It's called the lifestyle creep. What's the lifestyle creep? The lifestyle creep is where every time your income grows, you find you are growing your expenses. Not even that you do it intentionally. You just find yourself, I need a bigger house. I need better clothes. I need this. There's always that urge to increase your expenses according to how your money is growing. How to prevent the lifestyle creep from coming to you? Learn how to be content. Because you will always want to go higher and higher and higher. So how do you ensure that as your money is growing, you're not growing your expenses and getting rid of any extra money that you can invest? Get that lifestyle. Put it on a tablet and say, when I'm here, I would like to sojourn here. I would like to stay here for long, and then I build myself. So number 7, I hope you're following and you're learning something. They don't take shortcuts. Growing up, I grew up with a father that was a minimalist and was what we would call a financial mutin. Someone who was very strict on their finances, hence my desire to jump into the world of finance. And one of the things that my dad used to teach us a lot is there's nothing like get rich quickly. There's no overnight wealth. And if you get that overnight wealth, you will just lose it as faster as you got it. And why is that? Because money is about mindset. If your brain has not grown enough to handle a lot of money, when you get money suddenly, you will devour that money until it reaches the point where you're used for the money to be, unless you grow your mind. That's why I said at the beginning that it's about thinking and growing rich. You train your mind to handle more money. And this point is very dear to me because in the past I have been caught up in those shortcuts where some investment scheme comes up and you have a bit of money you have saved and then you jump into it and then you lose everything because you thought it's gonna bring money very quickly. Let me just save you the hassle. The best wealth, actually the only and the best wealth to grow, the best way to grow wealth is slowly and organically. And lastly, always keep learning. I said in a previous episode that there is no end to learning. Even I, who is talking to you right now, I'm still learning so much about money. Every month I learn, every day I learn. Every time I see something written, financial something, or money or wealth, because it's an area that I have interest, I get on board and I listen and I watch and I follow and I watch discussions. You pick tips and you get better by the day. So don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. So these 8 things, in summary, are the things that the 1% do that make them grow their wealth steadily, organically, and for long, such that even their generations will find their wealth and be able to grow it. So remember, our episodes are available in all streaming platforms, and we will keep doing this. We are committed to walk this journey of finances with you, and my joy is to see you move from one point to another. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.